See, this is one common question most of the people ask me. But to be very frank, I mean, I'll just to tell you the truth. I had absolutely no knowledge of cinema. I was completely blank about this subject. Uh, so getting into my profession, I mean, through the early influence, I mean, it didn't happen. I was studying in the general stream, and I was in my BSc, and to be very frank, I was not doing very well also. I mean, okay, I was an okay student, but I had a lot of, you know, interest in music and fine arts, and and I was a very popular person among my friends. And all. But all of a sudden, I found that all my friends, they branched. Uh, they went. Most of them went into the different streams, and I found myself alone. I could get chance in either any of those usual streams. One of my brother, my second brother actually, Pradeep, he happened to go to Pune for some of his work, and out of sheer curiosity, he just visited Pune Film Institute. And at the time, for the next academic year, the prospectus was being disputed. So he brought one prospectus from there, and he came and told me, look, I went to such and such place, and these are the things, just go through the prospectus and see if you're interested. But, even for me at that point, I said, cinema, I don't know, I mean, never thought one would get into cinema. Uh, but I was desperate. I was really desperate to start something, do something, because literally I was nervous about my future. So I said, okay, I will try. But he said, what would you like to do? I said, photography seems to be close to my heart because I used to paint and sculpt and sketch and all. So I said, कुछ तो similarity है इसमें. Let me try this. But my brother said, okay, why don't you try sound recording, sound engineering? I mean, we ours was a family of engineers. My father was an engineer, my brothers were engineers, and so engineering was the ultimate for everyone at home. So they said, why don't you try that? I said, engineering, no. Even the word engineering didn't appeal to me, because we had a factory, but I never went to the factory. I mean, mechanical things somehow. I could relate to it from the heart of heart. So anyway, we had to give one alternate, as an optional. So I put optional as sound recording, sound engineering. Then the big task came. One had to take the permission from a father. So the moment father came to know about it, he said, nothing doing in cinema. What will you do? No. Our family has not, nobody has gone to cinema, and I don't think that's the right place for you. But my brother said, look, there's sound recording, there's engineering, sound engineering. The engineering word somehow impressed him, He said, okay, engineering, sound engineering, what is it? He said, they somehow put out it. And he agreed. So that's how I went and appeared for the interview, and all. Luckily I got selected. And Institute was the first stepping stone. I, as I told you, I learned from the ABC of photography in the institute, and then slowly, we started getting exposures towards the world cinema sometime. We used to watch films, and then I used to get terribly influenced with the nature. As I started understanding lighting a little bit, I used to watch everything around me, very closely. That became a habit for me. Even, the early morning, how if one particular leaf will look. Uh, throughout the day, the way shadows used to change. And I really feel, I think the nature was my biggest teacher, to teach me the aesthetics of light and shade lighting. Then I used to watch very carefully how other people worked. I used to try and take the better things from them. Then after I passed out from the Film Institute, I worked with Mr. Kamal Bose, and I consider him as my guru. And Kamal was always used to say, keyboard, keep your eyes open. As long as possible, keep your eyes open. आंखें तभी बंद करोगे जब एकदम बहुत ज़्यादा नींद आए. Till then, keep watching all around you. You never know what will miss. And every moment that you keep watching things, you learn. So I am a very keen observer. And through observation, I think I've picked up a lot of things. And rest of it is my heart. Whatever my heart says, I keep doing. So I rely a lot on my heart, actually. See, after passing out, I came down to Bombay. I didn't go to Kolkata. Though my people wanted, my folks, I am from Jamshedpur, so Kolkata was quite close by. So everybody said, try in Kolkata, maybe you will be closer to home. But I don't know, somehow or other I felt that Bombay was the place. So I came down here and I was very confident that I will get something, definitely something, I can make my career here. And I was a scholarship holder, state scholarship holder, so I had the money. So I said, 6-8 महीना तो इस पैसे से आराम से निकल जाएगी. By then I'm sure I'll get something. But you won't believe, almost for 4 years, I was hand to mouth. I didn't get any proper job. And then one of my friends, Vikas Desai, and his family, his uncle was Mr. Vasant Desai, the famous music director. They took me to Kamalda. He was shooting in Fibisara, I remember. And then he went and said, Dada, ye बच्चा है इसको आप रख लो. Institute से आया हुआ है. He's not getting any work and all. So Kamalda said, look, I don't have much space here. I have got 4 assistants already. You can be there as an observer. So, that's all maximum I can do. So, Vasant uncle and Vikas and all, they said, okay, Barun, stay on. Let's see what happens. But after 2 days, Kamalda said, Barun, I can offer you 125 rupees per month. I've spoken to the producer, nothing more than that. I said, okay, I was very happy, at least something. So I worked with him for 3 years. And I think that was the best period that I could spend here, like Kamalda really, really taught me the ethics, how a DOP should behave, his approach towards people, towards his work, his dedication, everything was just, par excellent, so. And I followed him very closely. Till today, if I feel lost, I remember him, and somehow or other I get an answer. So the maximum blessing from a guru that one, if one could get, that I'm sure I got. I'm one of them. Sabada was really, really fantastic. I was basically into advertising, at the time, busy, literally, I was very busy with the advertising by then. Um, and just at that time, one of my very good friend, Robin Dharmaraj, he uh, was also into advertising. He was from Hindustan Thompson. He offered me a feature film, Chakra, and you know that was the first blow film, 16 to 35. We shot it in Fuji, and that film, turned out to be a landmark, absolutely. Chakra was one of, you know, I don't know if you have heard of Chakra. It had Smita Patil, Nasiruddin Shah, Kulbhushan, and the Golden Report from Lokano it got. And I think that was very, very, very well received film. I mean, as a first, I mean, that was, yeah, it was a absolute talked about film. Most important factor is how the script, you know, how is my reaction towards this script? It must, whether the material is appealing to me or not. Whenever I go through a script, I not only look at it whether it has got the potential for my work, the photography, but in general how a project will come about, And that's the most important thing. The overall film has to be a good film. So those are the areas, which one has to look into, very carefully and think about it properly and take the decision whether it's okay for me or not. Because, I mean, there are some films which I feel that, maybe I may not be as good in it as someone else. Though, I mean, as a cinematographer, one must, take all the challenges. But uh, I know the good and bad points of my skill in me, for me. So I look into those things also, whether I can do the justification to the particular script or not. So even that is one of the aspects, based on which I choose this script. I mean, there are certain subjects I'm very fond of. Like, uh, love epic stories. Um, I love nice love stories, good love stories, sensitive love stories. And, given a chance to choose between the scripts, maybe I will go for these subjects more willingly to see. Learning is a must. You will, until unless you learn the art, until unless you know the grammar of it, you can't really form a sentence. You see, uh, basic learning is important, but yeah, for me, intuition plays a lot. I go by my gut feeling many times. Many times I don't follow any theory. Uh, and I just do what I feel like doing. And maybe that has become my style, of photography. See, I haven't shot a feature for almost 2 years now. Last film that I shot, it was a Bengali film, feature, uh, a film called Kadambari. The story of Tagore and his sister-in-law, Kadambari. And it's a very talked about subject in Bengal. You know, everybody knows Tagore and Kadambari's story. Uh, and it was with the background of Tagore family, sort of an epic story only. And though we had a lot of trouble shooting this film, you know, we had various sort of problems, financial problems mainly. So the film had to be shot, you know, we shot 29, we completed the shoot in 29 days in all, but it was staggered over 2 years. Sometimes we will shoot for 4 days and it will get, you know, stalled again after a month or 2 months or so. 2 दिन, 4 दिन, 6 दिन, 10 दिन. It's like this we shot it. And the biggest challenge for me was to maintain the continuity. Many times, you know, the location was not available, so one had to simulate the same look, you know, in another location. And where I participated a lot in even in production designing, you know, and that was a huge challenge. Experience-wise, it was one of my very challenging experiences. And then shooting with Shuman, the director, Shuman Ghosh, was a great joy. I get my inspirations mainly from nature. You know, anything and everything around me teaches me something or other. But you know, above all, I think it's the nature that I get the maximum inspiration from. See, to start with, it was Chakra. That being your first major feature. And then it was really a fantastic experience, you know, shooting Chakra. Then Raja Parve is another one. It's a Tamil film shot for Sangeetam Srinivas Rao was the director. Kamala Hassan, Madhavi, Mr. L.V. Prasad, they were the actors. And that's one of my most favorite films. One of my most favorite films. Then I loved shooting Kadambari. If you ask me one thing, you know, whichever film I shoot, I fall in love with it. So I can't really tell you which is my most or which is little less. I don't think I will differentiate them much. I was shooting a commercial for Tanishq. Ram Madhwani was the director, and he told me, Barun, we will shoot it in such a way that the actors don't know that we are shooting. So, you know, we planned in such a way that in the location we, you know, if the subject was that this girl has a book launch and all the guests has come, and finally one of the guests who is wearing Tanishq jewelry is being spotted and things like that. So Ram said, we'll call all the guests, we'll tell them it's really a book launch and come. And there will be snacks, there will be the usual for the book launch, whatever launch, whatever is needed, and we'll have the camera at a distance, and we'll see to it the people don't get to see the camera, and sort of a hidden camera and all that. It was lit from the top, so that there was no light on the ground, so that people don't get to, don't realize that lights have been kept for shoot and all. We took a couple of rehearsals, like what will be the movement, from at which point, what, and all that. So once I was ready, there were two cameras. I said, okay. So he said, Barun, then we'll call. I said, okay. So he said he will indicate people are coming. At that point, I'm supposed to switch on the camera. Just for a fraction of a second, maybe I may have turned on the other side, and he gave the signal. I didn't see. All of a sudden I see, all the people have come. So I didn't know what to do, and then I switched on the camera. So about 2 seconds or 3 seconds of the first initial footage, I couldn't get it. And that was most important part, where the people, that was the beginning. Rest of it I shot the way it was supposed to be shot. But doing that film in one take, so that the people were absolutely unaware, didn't happen because of my blunder. And that's why Ram was furious. I said, how could you do that? I said, sorry boss. Ho gaya to ho gaya. But I still remember, that was something which is absolutely unpardonable. I feel a true artist comes out, through a good human being. Your art is a reflection of your own nature. So I follow it, very, very religiously, that I have to be a good human being first, and then a good technician. And automatically my approach towards my work becomes different. You have to be observant, you have to be patient, and you have to learn how to be aware. If you treat your people around you, you get the best possible help and best possible result. And I really think you will have to be a good human being. Try and be a good human being to give the best to the world. Last 2-3 months I haven't done anything. I was busy with terribly busy with something. Anyway, La La Land was one movie which I loved. It was really beautiful, brilliant, and that's one film where, the technicality didn't overpower the artistic part of it, See, when I came down from the Film Institute and started working in little bit here and there, all of a sudden some people will come and say, "Ki card kahan hai? Are you a member?" And at the time I was not a member. And even the people, in the unit, the other assistants used to bully us quite a bit. And that was the time. It doesn't happen now, but at that time it used to happen. They never looked at us, with proper respect. बहुत पढ़ उड़ के आया है वहाँ से, इस तरह का this sort of tana they used to model. But once one became a member from the WICA, That problem stopped. Initially, I mean, immediately. Now he's a member. You know, it's a nice platform to meet everybody. And I know if there is any need for the technicians, anywhere, anytime, any sort, WICA is a great platform to you know rely on to. Well, I never had any problem regarding uh, non-payment or stuff like that. But if at all things like this happen, sometimes it does happen, and I've seen WICA members, they go out of their way to resolve these things between the technician and the producers and all.